All right, guys, welcome back. We are now in episode 4. We made the change. I am here with my co-host, Crystal, who is over here. Crystal, she's on the phone. Crystal, hey,
What?
you know what? I'm kind of glad that you're on the phone because that's going to be our topic for today.
My phone?
No, distractions.
Okay.
A lot of us cannot make the change because distractions.
Yes.
Distractions is a key component to why some of you guys are being held back from reaching your goals. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
Totally agree. Yeah. Where do you think that fits in with being able to accomplish your goals?
You can't accomplish your goals if you're always distracted because that time that you're doing whatever you're doing is going to take away from when you really need to be focused on your goals.
But you know, for most people, that's a hard thing to give up.
I know.
That's a hard, especially for the younger generation. Yeah. Like to give up a distraction, and in their mind, it's not a distraction.
It's not. I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They. What do you think one of the top distractions of today's time is?
The phones, social media.
Yeah. We fortunate we didn't have that access to these devices when we were coming up. But for the kids nowadays,
I had a phone, and I didn't play. What is it? Not Tetris. What is it?
Worms. The worm game.
I had a phone.
I didn't have a phone.
You had a beeper.
I had a beeper. I definitely had a beeper. Shout out to all
I
the
had
people.
one too.
I was like, she over here lying. She had all the color beepers. She used to,
Pink and orange. Yeah. Look,
we
getting distracted.
Our distractions were not as prominent as the distractions are today.
No.
Because it's only so much you can do with a beeper. The phones that we had didn't have none of the technology on it. No. You was just going to make a phone. And you were making phone calls, but you had to be off that phone at a certain time because you didn't run around your minutes.
Yeah, your minutes not free. Yeah. You remember that? Call me back after 9.
Oh, my goodness. The call back after 9 was real.
Yeah.
Like, you had to, dang, you had to have that phone call me back after 9. That was crazy. That was crazy. They need to get back to that. Get back to the minute charge and make people stay off their phone. So let's talk about it. Eliminating distractions in order to make a change.
Right.
In order to achieve your goals. Coming through your transition let's go back to nursing. What things did you feel like you really had to eliminate to make a change that were distractions trying to accomplish your goals in order to, because we spoke on, how important it was for you to overcome these obstacles of getting through nursing school, working a job, and being a mother at the same time. So I can only imagine you had a small window of time that you could even accept distractions.
Right.
Outside of the phone, what do you think is one of the other distractions that can play a part in you not achieving those goals?
Hanging with friends. Going out. Everybody want to go out on weekends. That's one. Being on the phone, like not social media, but
just being on the phone.
Yeah,
just
conversations
talking.
that are really not going nowhere.
Yeah.
But you've been on the phone for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, talking about nothing.
Nothing.
Gossiping.
Nothing.
Gossiping.
Come on, gossip.
I gossip. I think as you get older, and of course after you learn how to accomplish more goals, you start minimizing that phone conversation talk. I know me personally, there were certain family members that I would have to talk to on a regular basis, and it would just be pointless conversations.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't conversation directed toward my goals.
Yeah, you have to limit that.
Yeah, you definitely have to limit. And that takes a lot because you got love for these people. It could be a best friend in that season of your life. Because I think another component to that distraction is you can be distracted so much to where you don't open up a door for the right people to come in your life.
Right.
Because you're so distracted on what society feels like. Or I ain't even say society. Because we know statistically there's a percentage level when it comes to success. And it's not a large amount of people that are, quote unquote, successful. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about eliminating distractions, that let's say that 95% of people who are not as successful because they're not accomplishing their goals. And when I say accomplish their goals, I ain't talking about you got to have this much money or nothing like that, but just accomplish your goals. If you go to your local college, I'm pretty sure everybody ain't laser focused on, I need to work on getting my degree, so I'm eliminating the partying, the hanging out, the frat parties, all that. Like, that's a hard task to accomplish when you're talking about how you want to eliminate distractions.
Right, because I think you have to set goals. Yeah. Like, what is your goal? What are you going after? But I think first you have to identify what does success look like to you.
Yeah. And I meet a lot of young people, and I think everybody kind of it's very few people who at a young age know what they want. Mm-hmm. As far as
people our age don't know what they want.
Definitely people our age. But in your younger days, you're more vibrant. You're more, you have a lot more energy. Mm-hmm. So you can go out and accomplish those goals. And hopefully you have less distractions.
It's easier said than done, though.
It's definitely easier said than done because for you, even for you, I think you did a great job of understanding how to balance your distractions because a child can be a distraction.
Oh, yeah.
And I know most parents use their child for a protection of not accomplishing their goals. That fear. Yeah. Especially if you come from an environment where you are trying to compensate parenthood for the lack of parenthood that you got growing up.
Yeah.
So you use your child to say, I'm going to make sure my child don't go through this, or I'm going to do this. And in the process of doing that, sometimes I think as parents, you lose focus on your goals because you're so focused on the distraction of replacing that memory or that loss that you had as a kid into your child.
Yeah, and I think that when you do that, you kind of, I'm not going to say damaging your kids. It's not damaging, but you're not giving them all that you could because you're not accomplishing your goals so that you can pour back into them because they need it.
I'm a firm believer in order to, one of the significant qualities of being a great parent starts with you being a great version of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I believe if you can be the best version of yourself, automatically your kids get the benefit from that, you know.
And I'm not going to tell my age, but.
Whew, go ahead.
I don't like him, y'all. I do not like him. I'm doing this because I'm forced. But
okay, go ahead.
Even now, well, not so much now, but I would feel guilty doing stuff that I know I need to do for me to reach my goals because of my kids. And I think it was a little bit of guilt and it was a little bit of fear. I was scared to actually go out there because what if it don't go the way I want it to go? So I think that is true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think not only is it true, but first of all, that within itself is a hard thing to admit. Yeah. The fear of, I don't want to go after this because I don't feel like I might accomplish it and I might fail at it, and I got these kids. And I think when you try to balance the two, naturally you're going to pick your kids.
Of course.
So you automatically equate and say, well, I can put this on the back burner for later. You know, that's why, you see individuals like yourself later in life when you get older.
You finna say some. He finna say some BS, y'all. I already know.
That's why when you see older people, they kind of living their best life. Cause
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But no, back to the topic at hand. So I think another one of the major distractions that you were speaking on that plays a huge part is the surrounding people that you hang with.
Yeah.
You know, I can remember growing up in my younger days, I hung out a lot. You know, from time to time, we would go to the clubs, hang out. You know, every weekend was a weekend to kick it. As I got older and I started going through my journey of trying to accomplish things and checking off those boxes, I realized that it wasn't as pleasing to me anymore.
Yeah.
And I was willing to make a sacrifice to say, hey, I'm not going to hang out this weekend because I got to accomplish this.
So I'm just using you as a black male, and, you know, we have all these distractions. How hard was that for you?
In the beginning, I think it's always extremely hard because you want to fit in. You want to be a part of something. So my circle was my fit in. I think as you grow through your seasons of life, you start having to identify, you know, the separations of where you are at in life.
Right.
You know, when you're a kid, it's naturally easy to have that circle of friends because all of you guys are experiencing the same thing in life right then. You know, when you're in elementary, middle school, everybody the same age. When we go celebrate, we're celebrating birthdays because we all around the same age. When we hang out, we hanging out with people that's all our age. As you get older and you start separating yourself from the environment that you might be in, you start exposing yourself to different things. So those friends that you might have hung out with back then might not necessarily be the same friends you're hanging out as you grow older because now you're in a different environment. If I'm in a working environment, 90% of the time that I'm spending is probably with people that I didn't go to school with or didn't hang out with when I was young.
They don't look like you.
Yeah, definitely sometimes don't look like you. But, you know, as you get older and you start experiencing these things, you have to learn, first of all, if I'm willing to make a change for the better, what direction do I really want to go in? And am I willing to say, yeah, I used to hang out with my cousin and we hung out every weekend. And we went drinking or we went doing this. But I got to tell my cousin that I'm trying to get to this level. So I got to make this change and say, this is the distraction that's holding me back from accomplishing this. Let me step away from it. And I think the hardest part about leaving those distractions behind is the feelings that are attached with those distractions. Yeah. Because you feel guilty. You know, you go through that level of guilt to where you're like, dang, they kicking it and I ain't even with them this weekend, you know. Especially with social media. Social media feel like you ain't living nothing.
You know, and let's go back to social media. That is, I think, in my opinion, that's a main source of distraction because you have your phone. Look, I got my phone.
Yeah, you always.
I mean, it's everywhere. So
you started off the show with your phone, but go ahead.
I was scrolling. So, I mean, you can sit here. You have all this access in your hand, and I found myself scrolling for hours. I don't even know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
And when I get to that point, I just deactivate. Yeah. But you know, you got to have a level of control.
You got to have
that you can do that.
Yep. But I think in the process of building up that level of control, that's how you learn how to accomplish your goals.
Right.
Because you have to be disciplined, and anytime you're disciplined at anything. Especially in leading that discipline in the right direction, it betters you as an individual.
Right.
In the beginning, you're not going to recognize it because you think you're punishing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
It
you
does
guys
feel
need
like
to be on punishment. Like, you really need to punish yourself. It's, it's crazy I'm saying this, but it's no different than your child misbehaving, and what's the first thing you take away from them?
Their phone.
Their phone.
Yeah. 'Cause that's punishment to them.
That's punishment to them. Some of y'all need to punish yourselves.
Yep, absolutely.
If you start putting yourself on punishment, I promise you'll start accomplishing more goals.
You know what? I think the first step, you got to identify, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And then start
Yeah.
recognizing what are your distractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then start chopping it off one by one.
If you have a habit of every weekend you spend 5 hours looking at Netflix, watching that binge watching that episode, that's 5 hours you could have been using to read a book on
working on your goals or something,
on perfecting your craft. And
it's not going to start overnight. Like you said, if you watch 5 hours, maybe cut it down, maybe 2 hours. Start, kind of build up on it, because I feel like if you go cold turkey, it doesn't. For me, it didn't work like that. Now, some people it can, but for me, it didn't work like that.
Absolutely, it's no different than going to the gym.
Yeah,
you if you keep telling yourself, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna work out an hour and a half every day.
Yeah,
you're not.
No.
You're not.
Especially just starting.
You're not. So baby steps. Let me give myself 20 minutes today, and I'll gradually start working myself up. Right. And speaking of gym, that phone be a distraction in the gym, boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you see people, they got their phone, and I'm like, are you really working out?
Like if you really do the time screen thing where it shows you how much.
Oh, how long you been on?
Oh my goodness! Yeah. I bet you people go to the gym and stand there for an hour, and 30 minutes they on their phone. 30 minutes they on their phone.
They distracted.
They distracted.
Yeah. Distracted.
They are distracted.
And the gym is a goal. So are you really accomplishing your goal?
Yes.
So
yes. So distractions are some of those variables that this really, if you can learn to control them, I personally think that it will better your life.
Yeah.
It will better your life. We speak on some of the obstacles it takes to get to success, some of the things that we've had to do to get to success. I'm a real big component on educating yourself. And I ain't talking about you got to be in no school or nothing like that, but just educating. With YouTube University, I mean, it's just so much stuff that you can learn. But how do you make time to learn those things if you're always distracted?
So number one, we said you have to identify, your goals. Yeah. Like what do you want out of this life? 2, identify your distractions. You know what your distractions are.
Absolutely.
Better than anybody else. Once you know what they are, write it down.
Ooh.
Write it down.
That whole writing down concept, for the longest, I remember when I was young in my journey, and I would hear people say, write it down, write it down, write it down. And I'd be like, because I wasn't a strong writer, I think I was, it kind of intimidated me.
Yeah.
The fear of having to write something down really was very uncomfortable for me. Because from an educational standpoint, I ain't come from the background of always keeping notes and writing stuff down. So it wasn't a comfortable stage for me. So when I would see successful people talking about writing your goals down, writing the process and all these steps down, it would literally go in one ear and out the other, because I'm like, I used to tell myself, that's just a skip. I mean, that's a step I'm going to skip.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm going to skip that step. So for the longest, I would never write stuff down.
So what did you do? Like,
I would try to
tell me
remember.
how that. Yeah,
I would try to remember stuff.
How did that work out?
It wasn't successful. Yeah. It was not successful because
I know too.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm now a firm believer that you can't skip steps. That was one of the major steps that I felt like I could skip. Yeah, I'm gonna remember this. Oh, I ain't gotta write this down.
You know what? I know you think I'm perfect. I know.
I wish y'all can see my face
Yeah.
up close. Zoom in on.
You know you think I'm perfect, but I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not. But I'm still learning some of those lessons. As we age, you know better than me on that part. We grow when we evolve. So I'm still learning.
Absolutely. It's one of those things. I'm a firm believer that as you get older, wisdom comes with age. Even in success, I've improved tremendously over the years of even in the process of just writing stuff down.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I'm pretty sure this is a testimony to a lot of people that are too embarrassed to talk about this particular subject. But a lot of the writing stuff down, especially before technology was as prominent as it is now.
Yeah.
I had struggles spelling words, writing stuff out. So I didn't do it because of those attributes. The embarrassment. I remember being in network marketing. When I first got into network marketing, it was my 30s, early 30s.
And explain what network marketing is to somebody who might not know.
So network marketing, it's kind of like, for my aspect, I was in a program or with a company to where I sold product to the communities, and I would have to go out and...
You sold drugs?
No.
Oh. Okay.
That did sound that's how
I sold product to the communities. Okay.
That did sound a little Frank Lucas. So network marketing is they call it the pyramid scheme thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got that bad. In reality, everything's a pyramid. There's always a top and a bottom. But in network marketing, you're really learning how to market a brand or a product. So you're around people who are constantly growing and learning how to market that product. 9 times out of 10, marketing that product consists of you as the individual going out selling that product hand in hand.
Oh, okay.
So when I was doing that, we would have these conferences to where we would have to go. There will be a panel of people or everybody who's in that company sitting around talking about different things that helped you accomplish whatever the goal was in the company. So, of course, when you're talking about pyramid, there's levels. So you start off on the bottom level, and you're trying to work your way up to the top level. So in these conferences, they would always kind of push us because it was a growing thing. You want to grow. So they would push us to writing our goals down, whether it were personal or towards your business. And I would literally, speaking for myself, I would be sitting at these conferences, and they make it easy for you because a lot of us make excuses of why we can't accomplish a goal. So this particular company was great at saying, I'm going to give you the tools. It's up to you to do what you need to do with the tools. Okay. No different than what we're doing right here.
Yeah.
We made the change. We're trying to give our audience the tools to go be successful.
So we want y'all to make the change.
Yeah. So they gave us the tools to say, hey, for instance, when I say tools, meaning if you're at this conference and they're talking about different attributes that lead you to success, and one of them being write down your goals, well, they're going to supply you with a notebook and a pen to write down your goals in. So you ain't got no excuse.
Yeah.
Well, my excuse in my head was, yeah, you gave me this notebook and this pen, but I ain't a strong writer, and I don't have enough confidence in myself to continue to become a strong writer. So I'm just going to dismiss it, and I ain't write nothing in this pad. And the embarrassment of feeling like you're not strong in that area kind of held me back in the beginning until I built up enough confidence to say, it's okay not to be strong in this area. I just got to work on being strong in this area.
And you just got to start from somewhere.
Got to start from somewhere. So
who is going to read that other than you?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I don't care if it's misspelled or it's something that you have to do for you, and you work on it.
Yes. Because I can only imagine when you were in nursing school and you would have to take notes on certain, because I know in that profession, y'all got to do a lot of writing. Mm-hmm. So I know when you was writing in your journal or your notepad or whatever, it was just probably stuff scribbled everywhere where you understood it.
Yeah.
And that all that mattered. You understood, I wrote this over here for this reason.
Never. You didn't been in my office.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
I have.
Go ahead.
I ain't like the way you laugh.
I'm gonna let you speak on it. Go ahead. Tell them about your office.
It's good, y'all. It's great. Mm-hmm. But I have notebooks everywhere. Yeah. Like spirals, journals. Yeah. Because I love writing stuff down. I'm a writer. Yeah. Yeah. So when I was young, I was a reader. But that helps me. And maybe in the last 2 years, maybe in the last year, that's when I really started writing them, because that's why I have so many. I would buy them. Oh, this is cute. Yeah, I'm going to use this. I never did. Yeah. But I started writing it down, and I started accomplishing more of my goals. Like, yeah, I am successful in what I do. But at the same time, I have stuff I have to work on.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still evolving. But writing it down, it really helps. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you get into that mindset of, I know this helps me, how do you feel like that helps you? Is it being able to have access to go back and look at these things that you wrote down? Yeah.
I actually get like the endorphins you get when you exercise.
Okay.
I get that. Like, I get inspired, I get motivated, and motivation it's gonna fail. Yes. You know, it's gonna go away.
It definitely flows away from time to time. Yeah.
But are you still disciplined to continue doing it? So I write my stuff down. I'm still kind of getting used to that calendar, like writing your tasks down and planning out your day.
Yeah.
Like I'm still working on
it to the podcast at a certain time.
You said you wasn't gonna do that. I got lost, y'all. I went in the wrong building.
Okay,
we broadcasting all my info.
We go write that down in her office, but we go write the directions and draw design and everything.
But you know what? I'm old school, so I like writing. But
you what?
I'm old school.
Yes, you are.
Old school, yeah. What is that? That old school, yeah. But I like writing, but this newer generation, they use their phones for everything.
Yes.
So whatever.
Is that a distraction? Do you think that's a distraction?
I think it depends on the person.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
These kids today, like my niece, my kids, they're just speaking to the phone. You ain't even got to type it in. I was like, my niece was sitting outside of me one day. We were at basketball practice. I'm like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Yeah. Oh, I'm talking to my phone, telling it to do something. I said, oh, okay.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
But no, speaking of that, believe it or not, that helped me.
Speaking into the phone?
Because I wanted to become a strong writer, and I wanted to become a strong speller, all those things. So me speaking into the phone, when they would type it out for me, I would then transfer it to paper.
Okay.
That way I can see the words. I'm really giving an education on how to become. There's no excuse nowadays to not be educated. No. And I'm not saying I'm walking around here with a PhD or nothing like that.
You're not.
I'm not even close. I'm still in the GED area. But I'm always proud of myself for overcoming the fear of walking around knowing that I don't know something and keeping it bottled in to where I don't even give myself a chance to know something. like every day I'm pushing myself,
That's
this
good,
area,
yeah.
I want to get better in this area. I want to get better in this
So
area.
you got to move past that fear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of men, particularly, because women are naturally smarter than men, and when it comes from educational
I like that you admitted that.
I ain't got no problem with it. My wife is way smarter than me.
Shout out to Miss Bree.
So I think for men, the fear of, and we're going into a whole different subject, but the embarrassment of sometimes not knowing stuff kind of keeps you in a level of contentment.
At a standstill, stagnant.
Yeah. So I enjoy the process of saying, I know I'm not strong in this area. I don't care who knows that I'm not strong in this area, because I'm going to work on getting stronger in this area.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because that's another distraction. Caring about what other people think.
Ooh,
yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah, caring about what other people think is a distraction.
That's a distraction.
They're not going to be here with you when you get to that, next level. You got to do everything on your own. It's your journey. It's not their journey. It's your journey.
She preaching, y'all. She preaching.
I'm a preacher. Hey,
yeah,
okay. But so let's go back. Let's recap.
Okay.
Identify your goal.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know what you want to do, and make it clear. Don't be broad with it. Make it clear.
Clarity.
Identify your goal.
Clarity.
What did we say? Number 2 was see what your distractions are and write them down.
Yeah.
Once you do, start writing it down so you can eliminate it, and you don't go full-fledged. To me, you don't. Some people can.
Yeah.
But to me, I couldn't go full-fledged.
Yeah.
Start knocking it down one by one. Once you do that, what you think?
After you do that, then it's all about getting disciplined and taking those steps to eliminate those distractions, and be okay with taking a step back. Like, if you mess up, it's okay.
Be okay with failure.
Be okay with failure.
That's your process.
That's part of the process, and you're just going to learn from it.
Exactly.
You're going to learn from it. So, like always, man, we are here to try to help educate people on making those necessary changes that it takes to accomplish whatever your goal might be. We made the change. We are making the change. We're going to continue to make the change, and our goal is to help you make the change. So leave down in the comments, man, what do you think one of your biggest distractions that you would like to eliminate to help you reach your goals?
For 2025.
For 2025, yes. And moving forward, but it has to start now. It has to start now. They say you do, when you know better, you do better.
And y'all know better.
Y'all know better.
Y'all know better.
You know you don't need to be on that phone for 4 hours strolling.
Get off Facebook.
You already know what your vices are.
Hold on, they say Facebook for old people. Get off Instagram and Twitter and what's the other one?
I don't even know, because them for young folks. So you ain't on there, obviously.
I'm not.
So until next time, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the videos. And leave a comment. Like I said, leave a comment. Let us know what some of your distractions is. And until next time, we out of here.